Good morning, everybody. It's good to have you on here. Our Tuesday Freedom Team Mastermind. We do this every Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Michael Higdon, good to see you down there in Kentucky. Paul up there in Seattle, always here. Faithful, loyal. Hope you're doing well. Ashley, if you can, guys, turn on your camera. If not, totally good. But more participation, the better. We do this every week. It's open to all agents, all companies, anywhere. You're never, you're always welcome, no matter what company you're at. This is primarily EXP agents, but this isn't an EXP function at all. It's all about just helping you with your business transactions, getting more deals. We could all use those. Hopefully, everybody's doing well with the summer kicking in. I just had my heat on this morning here in Colorado. I'm not kidding you. It was like 43 degrees when I woke up, and like, holy cow, I turned it on for a little bit. So typical Colorado this time of year. But Jamie Parker, down in Atlanta, four-time icon. We were just talking, soon to be five. Anyway, crushing it down there in Atlanta. How long have you been with EXP, Jamie?
I guess 5.5 years. So
5.5 years. Okay, there you go. So anyway, he is going to be leading this today. Some of the steps to get to Icon, okay, which again, steps to do more deals. That's really what this is going to be, and going to learn some of Jamie's system, what he's doing, different things, different ideas. So Jamie, I'm going to go ahead and let you take it off, take over with it. We'll jump in with, any questions, comments along the way. If you do have questions, put them in the chat along the way if Jamie wants to open that up, or we'll get them all answered by the end of it for sure. So anyway, Jamie, appreciate you doing this, man. Thank you so much. Take it over. Take it away.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. It's at least morning here, and I think morning probably most spots. So blessed to be on here today. And so one thing I'm gonna let's open with this. As you guys are, I'm honored that you guys are taking the time to spend an hour this morning with me. You could be an hour doing anything else. You could be doing something else. You could be watching Netflix, you could be running kids around, you could be at the pool. Well, not in Colorado anyways. But in my neck of the woods, you could be at the pool. It's about 80, right now it's 71 out, but I think it's gonna be in the low 80s today. So definitely pool weather. But as we approach the class, I want to help you with your mindset before we start. So your mindset this morning, I want you to inspect what you expect. So you're giving me an hour of your life this morning, and Jeff and Sean, and to help yourself and to help your business this morning. So I want you to think about, before we start, just take like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, inspect what you expect. So in the next hour, I want you to decide what you're going to get out of this next hour. I'm going to bring it, I promise. But I want you to decide what you expect out of this next hour. So give me about 10 seconds. All right. So hopefully you have your expectations set now. Okay. So now we're ready to roll. So let me see if I can move all the Zoom stuff out of the way. We're getting there. Hold on.
You're good. We can see it.
Yes, we can see it. Let me hit slideshow. There we go. And we are going. Okay, cool. So here we are. So 4 steps to Icon. What is it going to take to get to Icon? What is the secret sauce? Right? Because I think they said that as of shareholders, there's 2,300-ish icons in the company, roughly, out of 88,000 agents. So what does it take? What does it take to get to Icon? That's what we're going to talk about. So before we talk about the actual steps, like why is Jeff having me on here? Why is Sean having me on here? Why do I deserve an hour of your time, or why am I even talking to you guys? All right. So let me just give you I won't take a lot of time for this, but I think background's important. So I started real estate 16 years ago. I was a school teacher for Gwinnett County Schools in the metro Atlanta area for about 17 and a half years. I did real estate part-time for 7 of those 17 years. And even as a part-time agent, I was in the top 10. I was in the top 5, top 10 at the Keller Williams office, oftentimes number 2, and et cetera. Did everything I could have done at that KW office, from coaching to the whole 9 yards. And so, so I came to EXP because I knew, I knew some of the people that were coming on board, and I know I needed to follow what they're doing. People like Sean, people like Robbie, Kim Campbell, that, I knew they were super successful in what they were doing. And I was just looking for a change. I wasn't excited about real estate. Honestly, I wasn't excited about real estate anymore. I was getting burnt out. And so, that's kind of how I came to here. And so through different things, and I'll share real quickly. We all have stuff that we've gone through. And so my 2020 was like my year. And you're like, well, what do you mean was your year? Well, my 2020, I was married, emphasize was for 25 years. I got married at 20, was married for 25 years, and she decided to leave. She just decided to leave right after the 25th anniversary. Just took off. Hey, you can have the kids. I'm out. So hopefully my kids don't like bother me during this presentation, but I have 2 teenagers plus a friend here right now upstairs. And then my dad got COVID, died. Then I had a car wreck. I got hit by an Escalade while I was showing homes, walked away without a scratch. I had to fire an employee. I have another business. I had to fire an employee. I never had to do that before. I had to fire somebody. Then I had to sell the married house, buy a house, for my kids. So do the whole closing process, moving process, the whole 9 yards. And then I had like a big insurance claim on one of my rental properties. All this happened in 4 months. And 2020 was my highest transaction count of any year I've done so far. 62 transactions as a solo agent with all that going on. And I just had to really one thing I would tell you that's going to be super important. Not everybody can do this, but I would encourage you to find ways that you can compartmentalize and not let the other stuff that's happening in your life affect what you're doing in your business. Because too often we'll get so focused. And I have unfortunately some stuff happening right now, but I'm focusing on my kids, my business, things that I need to focus on. Because one thing we know in life, we can only control what we can control, right? What's the only thing in life you control is you. Control your reaction. You can't control what other people do to you. So through that whole thing, I had to really just focus here. So one of the things that we'll talk about, let me get to do this for just a second, then we'll dive into the 4 steps. But I think it's good to have background so you know who's talking to you. And hopefully you've already gotten some good stuff that's going to help you already. But one of my passions, you can see myself with the saxophone. One of the things that helps me as I am a professional musician. So I'm just going to I'll let you have a quick little, see if this works okay. And one of our agents took this at
Can't really hear it, Jamie. We can't hear it, Jamie.
So you've got to find in life, kind of also what makes you passionate and what are you going to find some things to do? Because would you agree, yes or yes, in real estate, we can get really consumed, right? Would you agree with that as you get busy? Have you ever had a transaction that you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait till this transaction's over? I have one of those closing today, by the way. But it can be all consuming, right? And so we have to make sure we're taking time to do other things. So here's step number one. Step number one is your routine. Okay, what do you do each day? If you've ever read the book, The One Thing, he talks about 7 things that you need to accomplish each day in your life. Different areas of your life you need to focus on. So eat your frogs first. I know there's a book by that, I think. But do those hard things first. So for you, what is your hard thing? What is your hard thing you're going to accomplish? You may have heard it, and I've seen this on a lot of videos. The first thing I do, and I've been much more disciplined, I make my bed almost as soon as I get out of my bed in the morning. Why? And I never thought it was important, but then what I realized is that if I make my bed as soon as I wake up, the first thing I do, I wake up is I thank God and I praise him for allowing me to wake up, because there are people that didn't wake up. So for me, that's music. For me, I have several songs and I just think in my head almost as soon as I wake up. But then I get up and I make my bed because I've already accomplished something. If I've made my bed, I've already accomplished something in my day, right? Then the other thing is exercise. I do encourage you, if you're not exercising, your body is a temple, and you will be more successful if you're more physically fit, because it's going to also help your mental awareness. So I've been paying a trainer since 2020 and I do that not because I don't know what to do at this point, because I've been doing this for a while and I was working out even before that. But I do that because it's accountability, the pain of paying for the trainer and also making sure I have an appointment to go to the trainer, even though I know how to do it myself. That helps me. The spiritual aspect, we just mentioned that, whatever your belief is, if you believe in a higher power or whatever, this is, to me, that's important. For me, that's what makes me tick, but something else may make you tick, whatever that is. And then reading. So right now I'm reading the book we got at Shareholders Integrity by Glenn Stearns. I'm almost finished with it. So it's a great book. And as I'm reading it, because he autographed it, I'm not highlighting it, but I'm taking pictures of pages that stood out to me. I have on my iPhone, I have little spots. I have a little note that I've created, and I'm either taking notes, like typing them out, or I'm taking pictures of sentences or pages of stuff that's stood out to me that I want to remember. Okay. So, if you have an autographed book or something like that, don't think that that's just a strategy you can use. But doing all of these things, I've also recently been trying to, and let me know what y'all think. Do we have a hard time sitting still and being still? I do. My mind runs at 11 million miles a minute most of the time. And so recently, over the last couple of weeks, I've been really trying to take time to meditate. And it's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's for me, it's really challenging just to get me to put the brakes on my mind. But go on YouTube. I'm not going to recommend any particular one, but start with 10 minutes, 10-minute meditation. Or you could put 10-minute spiritual meditation, whatever floats your boat. And then increase it. So I've been just working on that. I still have a hard time just sitting there for 30 minutes with nothing in the background. But it does help me to get my mind focused. As I've been trying it. I don't know, it's still new for me. But I don't know, that may be something that's helpful for everybody else. And I know Glenn, specifically in his book, Glenn Stearns, does mention that meditation was a huge part of his success. So, I always say success leaves clues. So I'm gonna take that clue, and I've been trying to implement that. Not trying, I am. I've done it multiple. I don't want to say I'm doing it every day. I'm getting there, but I want to start to incorporate that as part of my routine. And you may want to do it in the middle of the day, at 2:30. It may not have to be first thing in the morning. What do people in Latin America do? They take siestas after lunch, right? And then they go back to work. that may be something I've tried doing that, like doing it at 2:00 or doing it at 2:30. So it can be almost like a little bit of a rest time as well, a time to recharge. So hopefully that will help some of you. So that's step number one. Step number one is about our routine. What kind of a routine are you doing each day? And I want to give you guys a disclaimer. I am not the time blocking person. I'm not the best time blocker. I'm not the best at follow up. I'm not the best. What I think I love about real estate is I do control my schedule. And so I can zig and zag as needed. I love that. I'm not that person who's going to put in their calendar 8 to 10, I'm making phone calls, 10 to 12, I'm doing this, 11 to 1, I'm doing. That's not who I am specifically. That may be who you are, and that may work for you. You just got to know what works for you. For me, I would feel like I was in jail if I did that. I tried doing that. So do what works for you. Find out when is your good follow-up time. Find out when is your time to exercise, or find out when is your time. That self-care is going to be really important for you. So get to work. Step 2. So what is it I need to do each day to have the life that I always dreamed of? So that I could spend the rest of the 45 minutes just on that, but let's just do that sentence. What do I need to do each day? So this is a daily thing to have the life that I've always dreamed of. So you can unmute yourself. Does anybody want to say what is something that they've dreamed of? Just one person, because we get caught in the weeds. What is something that what is the life you've always dreamed of? Does anybody want to share? Going once. Twice. I'll let Jeff pick somebody. Go ahead, Jeff.
Alex. Can you unmute yourself, Alex? There you
go. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Alex.
That's a tough one, because I have to tell you, like you said about your brain going 1,000,000 miles a minute, my thoughts are like that as well. And my dreams, my passions, are going the same way. So I once had a vision that was very clear to me, and I still remember it very vividly. But the funny thing is, I don't see it playing out that way anymore. And so I never really reassessed or did anything like that. So for me, anything like you said, time blocking, dreaming, journaling, all these things that a lot of great people talk about, really, to me, don't connect. And so when you said you don't time block, I'm like, finally, I found somebody who doesn't, to be an icon, you have to time block. I'm so happy you said.
No, I will say I do have a calendar. Don't get me wrong.
Okay,
you can look at my calendar. It's like, I do have a calendar and I do use it. Yep. And I do look each day what I'm supposed to be, what my appointments are that day, or where I'm supposed to be going. But so I do put stuff on a calendar, but I don't have the same schedule every day, which is what some of those other real estate companies teach you to do, So yeah, hopefully I appreciate that, Alex.
I'm sorry I didn't answer your question correctly. But
there is no correct. There is no correct. This isn't, this is not a score. This is just, we're trying to help each other. So, so are we propelling ourselves forward towards the life that we've dreamed of? So, and what work do I do? So what work are you doing each day? And don't chase shiny objects. I've gotten, right before shareholders, I had 3 different companies, third-party companies, reach out to me for different things. One was going to be to get me to become like the guy for my website, hyperlocal. And it's someone through EXP. That's also another icon that's come up with this great company. But it's anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a month. I had another company that wanted to do appointment setting, that would guarantee me 10 to 15 qualified appointments every single month. Again, $3,000 a month. So there's so many things that all sound good. And I'm sure all of these things work, because they had some big names, like some of the people you saw on stage as shareholders, they're using these products, right? But what is it that do you really want to, one, even if you got all that, could you even handle that? And could you handle making a $36,000 a year commitment to something. We find that the things that actually work are the things you actually do. What's the best CRM out there? It's the one you use. It's the one you actually follow up with and actually do the work. Okay, so what work do you do? So we're going to talk about the work. So we're working now. So we're looking at our database. We're inspecting our expectations each day. We've got the routine of what we're going to do in the morning. Hopefully you do it in the morning. Okay, you've got that routine. But now that we're working in, how often, and I'm sure Jeff hears this all the time, I'm a new agent. What do I do? Like, how do I get started? What do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm brand new. I've never sold a single house before. Or some of us are like, well, I've only sold 3 houses a year before. How do you sell 50? Or I've only sold 50. How do you sell 100? What do you do? So what are we working and what are you going to work on? So step 3, we want to make your list. Lists come in different forms. Okay. So do you have to have a paper list of people you're talking to? No. Guess what? This is your list right here. This is your list. If you don't have a list written, okay, it's okay. Go through your A's, go through your B's, go through your C's, go through your D's, go through your E's. What if you did 2 letters a week? I have so many numbers, it would take me forever to go through 2 letters a week. But what if I just look at my phone right now? I'm gonna go into my contacts right now. Not sure who to call. Okay, not sure who to call. All contacts. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have 17,000 contacts in my phone. That's what it says anyways. That probably some of those are emails, but so I don't know. I don't know who Armand A is. I don't even know where I met him. I have no idea. I don't remember who he is. Maybe I don't call. Maybe I just send a text. Hey, I'm not sure where we met. Your number's in my phone. Yeah, just want to reconnect, see how you're doing. Maybe you do call him if you do it, but I couldn't tell you who that person is. Here's a realtor, Leslie with ERA. Could call her. Hey, see how her business is doing. So you get what I'm saying. I've already, I only have to scroll for like this far to already get 10 people to talk to. So call the people on your list, minimum of 10 a day. So you want to talk to 10 people a day. Now, that's if you're not really, really busy. If you do this every day, I'm going to show you what's going to happen to you. Okay. And you'll see that's on one of my other slides. Okay. I will also give you this disclaimer. I think Alex will like this. Do I talk to 10 people every day? What do you think I'm going to tell you? I don't. Are there some days I talk to 10 people? Yeah. Are there some days? Yeah, there are. Are there some days I talk to 20 people? Yeah. I do a lot of texting. So when I say talk, that also means texting. I find majority of my clients would rather communicate via text for the most part. Because they could do it wherever that they're at a red light, they could be in the bathroom, they could be wherever they're at, and they can reach you, right? And so as long as you're having a conversation via text, to me that still counts. Don't get like what counts, don't get like so hung up on the legalistic part of what's a contact. Did you have a conversation? Did you communicate with them? If you answered all of those questions, that would be then you've made a contact. So then what do you talk about during those conversations? So you've probably heard it said, hey, Sue, do you know anyone who's thinking about buying? Let's look at the script. Hey, Sue, this is Jamie. I got some big news. I'm part of one of the most successful real estate teams in all of Atlanta. And guess what? We're accepting new clients. Do you know anyone who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 90 days that we can help? This is a new agent script. Now, again, do I sit there and practice tons of scripts? No, I don't. I've been doing this a long time. I don't have to. Well, maybe I should, but I don't. And I'm still doing fine. So, but if I'm a new agent, I've only sold 1 house, but I want to sell. I want to go into that neighborhood, or I have a friend that's selling their house, or you're just starting to talk to people that don't even know you're in real estate, but you're insecure because you've never sold anything, or you've only done one transaction, or you've only done 3, and you're competing against Alex, who's did 20 transactions last year, right? And so this is a way to leverage your team. Not even if you're not part of a team, you're leveraging EXP, right? You're leveraging your company. You are part of one of the most successful teams right now. What team are we, Jeff? What's our team?
Freedom team.
Right, we're all part of Team Freedom,
Yeah.
right? So guess what? If you're on this call, well, you may be visiting, and that's fine too. But if you're already part of EXP, you're part of Team Freedom. Okay, and Team Freedom is definitely one of the most successful teams in all of EXP. Correct? So you can use that. It's not lying. You're telling the absolute truth. The truth is you are part of one of the most successful teams. Because guess what? Even if you're wherever, if you're in Atlanta on this call, guess what? Whether you're in my group or not, I don't care. You want to call me? EXP, we're one big team. So you're in Atlanta and you need help with a GAR form, or you don't know something, call me. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to not help you. You know, you're in Colorado. I'm sure Jeff is going to help you. You know, I don't know where Alex is. I don't know where Sean is, but wherever you're at, there's somebody to help you. So you don't have to do this on your own, and you leverage the group. Leverage the group. So let's go on to the next spot. So I would love to say I came up with this myself, but I do want to give Sean Kokoska credit for this because this did come from him. I did take his, and I'll show you what on my, I'm going to give you 2 extra bonuses. Okay, if I give you guys some bonus? Yeah, so it'll be actually 6, not 4. I couldn't do it in 4. But it'll be 6 steps instead of 4. All right, so step 4, social media. 20 interactions a day. Believe it or not, this is actually part of like one of my hardest things to do. I don't know why. It's just, but so how do I try to accomplish it? Take some time wherever you're. You could be at a red light. You could be waiting on a client. Go comment on 10 comments on people's Facebook posts every day. For me, it's Facebook. I use Facebook more, but it could be Instagram. It could be LinkedIn, wherever you want to, wherever you're working at or doing all of them. But leave 10 comments, send 6 private messages each day. Most of the time I would say Facebook is better for the private messages, I would think. But maybe Instagram is good. I'm typically more of a Facebook person. Maybe that's because of my age, but you can do whatever platform works for you. Share somebody's post. Now, when you share somebody's post, I'm not going to lie to you, especially on Facebook, if you share somebody's post, you're not going to get a lot of likes typically. For whatever reason, Facebook doesn't give you a lot of love when you share. So if I share Sean's post, I'm not going to get a lot of love, but people love when you share their post because that makes them feel like what they posted was important. And just be careful what you share. Make sure it's something of value, something that aligns with your values or aligns with the message you want to send to people. Because look at it, like those people who are looking at you on Facebook or Instagram, they're your audience, right? And they expect certain, you get to be known for certain things. 2 friends or follows each day. Okay. So think about that. If you did 2 friends or follows at the end of the year, that's what? 700 and something like that. It's like 700, 820 people that you've added to your network. If you did that 2 a day. And then 1 post every day. So I don't want to claim that I get tons of business from Facebook or social media, but here's what I do get. I do get a lot of branding from that. Like one of my clients who I sold a house maybe a couple miles from here, she thinks I am the absolute expert for my high school. Now, I'm not going to lie. I do some business in our high school area, but I'm not the top agent in our area for our high school specifically. But they think that I because of what I post on social media. They think I'm the absolute, that I am the number one agent in our high school district because of what I'm posting on social media, the content I put out there. So isn't that what you want people to think about you? Would you like to get a comment from one of your clients that says, you need to use Jamie Barker because he is the number one agent in Brookwood High School. He knows Brookwood like this. I do know the area for sure, but I'm definitely not the number one agent as far as selling homes in this area. I do sell a lot. I'm not number one, but Facebook people think I am, right? Because of the content I'm putting out. So, all right, let's go to step 5, consistency. So what is an icon? An icon is a person or thing regarded as a representative symbol. A person or thing regarded as a representative symbol. So as icons, we are a symbol of according to EXP, we're a symbol of the best, right? They've given us recognition because of what we do. So I would challenge you right now, let's take a step away from real estate for a minute. I think there's more things that you could be an icon with. Are you an icon for your kids? If you have kids. Are you an icon for your significant other? Are you an icon for your community? Are you an icon for your whatever spiritual stuff you do, if you do any spiritual stuff? Are you an icon at the gym? How do you, so I think it's a symbol, right? So how are you showing up? What are you representing? So how are you showing up in your life? And what are you doing for your life to show up? Next week, I'm going to Texas to a ranch. And yes, it's expensive, but I'm going to be there Monday through Saturday. And it's not business. It's about me. It's about what makes Jamie tick. Why do I do what I do? And I appreciate, I'll give a shout out to, if I don't know if Kathy's on here, but Kathy was the one who turned me on to Kathy Carter. So I'm going, it's called, end up going to advanced leadership in Texas next week. But, that's another great thing about our Team Freedom and our family here is that, I would have never known about that and stuff like that if it wasn't for some people in here. Right. So again, definitely surround yourself with the right people. 10 to 20 daily. So 10 to 20 people daily. If you have no business right now, like I don't have a single thing in the pipeline and I have nothing on the books, then this is what you should be doing. What I talked about here on the previous slide, you should be doing all of these things. If you had zero business right now, that's what you should be doing. Okay, past clients and sphere. Okay, you may not have past clients, but you definitely have people that you know. So if you have past clients, reach out to your past clients. And it doesn't always have to be, it could be a past client and you don't always have to ask them for a referral. Ask them how their kids are doing. Ask them, they know you're doing real estate. They know you're your realtor, and you'll find the right time to sprinkle that in. I know that is really typically the intent of the phone call. You're really hoping that they will give you a referral. And I know you do need to ask for it at some juncture, but if you haven't talked to them and you're probably asking for referrals, probably not the best move. Talk to them. You make an effort every couple months to talk to them, or at least send them a text. Co-workers, business owners, some of you may not be full-time agents that are on this call. That's okay. You may do other things. So you have people that you work with. So long as it's okay with your company, if you are working somewhere, reach out to your fellow employees, or you may have a significant other. Have them introduce you to the people that they work with, and of course, other business owners. Because other business owners know people with money. Other business owners also have, if they're a business, and especially if they're a successful business, they have their own sphere of influence, right? So what are some of the things And so speaking of sphere of influence and things that you can do, think about what you're doing is think about the tribes that you're part of. So I'll tell you a quick story, then I'll go on to the last one, and then we'll open up for questions. So on my vision board for a long time, I had a 3000 GT, a Mitsubishi 3000 GT. It was like, I remember when I was in high school and that car came out on the cover of Motor Trend, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like salivating over that car. And so I put it on my vision board. It's very hard. I'm being honest with you. It's very hard for me to put material things on my vision board because that doesn't really make me tick for the most part. I'm not trying to go get a jet. I'm not going to try to get a yacht. That doesn't do it for me. You know, making a difference in people's lives and helping people, doing mission trips, doing things like that. That's where I'd rather spend my money. And I'm not on material things. But but my kids, it was about 2 years ago, and they were like, Dad, you know what? You're having a great year in real estate. Why don't you just do it, Dad? When are you going to get it? Because, you know, they're getting old enough now to you know, one's 17 and one's almost 15. So they're getting old enough to like understand what that would be. I'm sure they had a little bit of selfishness, but part of that too is that they wanted to have a cool car like that at the house. But so anyways, long story short, 2 years ago, I went ahead and bought one. Found it on eBay, shipped it from Utah. I bought the VR4, which they only made 1,311 of. And I went to a car show this past weekend. I've only been to 2 car shows so far, and put it at the car show. And I got a little trophy for being one of the 5 best imports that were there. But why am I telling you this story? I'm not telling you this story to tell you that I have a 3000 GT. I'm not telling you this story that I won an award. That's all fun. And it's great social media. I got a lot of social media interaction with that. But I'm telling you that story because I hung out with a guy that owned a Lamborghini for an hour. I hung out with a guy that was on Fox 5 News in Atlanta for 20-something years, got their phone numbers. I hung out with somebody that's looking for land who came over and talked to me for about 15 minutes in my car. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying you got to go out and buy a car, and that car was not ridiculously expensive either. You know, it wasn't prohibitively expensive, but it is an icon of a car that gets me some attention when I go to these car shows, which then brings me, because I'm looking for those people who have the Jaguar E-Type. There was one of those there who, as soon as a Lamborghini pulled up, I was like, dude, I'm going to have to figure out who that guy is. And I've got to figure out how to get his phone number and how to talk to him. Because I know I want to know how the heck did he get a Lamborghini? Like, what is it? He ends up, he owns a software company. And he's had 5 Lamborghinis. This isn't his only one. He said this is his 5th one. So he's had Lamborghinis for a long time. You kind of get what I'm saying? That's another way to build your business. Find a circle. And car people, they're like, for me, those car people, they're really cool. These guys, some people, they do it every weekend. Like, they're out there, and that's their social out. That's just what they do. Find what works for you. So, results. All right, Jamie, you just told me all of this stuff. Now, what happened? So, following this exact system that I just told you, everything that I've just shared with you, I started in March of 2020, and I'll give a shout out to Sean Kokoska. When COVID started, I decided I knew I needed to do. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, as the rest of us weren't sure either. But here's what I did know. I did know that I needed to surround myself with like-minded people. Okay. And I knew I needed to be in some kind of a coaching and accountability program to help me during that time, because I didn't know what was going to be. I don't have a paycheck, right? If I don't sell houses, I got to sell houses, right? I don't have a job. So following this exact system, starting in March of 20, and I followed that, the social media, the contacts, I followed it to a T, and I didn't stop every day until I did it. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it took all day to do it. Like, to talk to 10 people, sometimes it took all day. Led to 15 closed transactions in June and July of 2020. So assume an average price of $300,000, that's $4.5 million in sales, which is 125 to 135,000 in commissions in just 2 months. So let me ask you guys, if you made that in 2 months, would that change your life? Yeah, it would change your life, right? Yeah, it was definitely life changing. So why can't we do this each month? You know, easy to do, easy not to do, right? 10 calls, oh, that's not hard. Oh, you know, I'm with the kids today, or I'm with this, I'm just not gonna do it today. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you right now, I've had a great year, but right now, as we sit right now, as I think 3 months out, I'm not where I want to be right now. I'm having a great year, don't get me wrong, I got a lot of closings this month. I had a lot of closings, I think I did 10 closings in April. You know, I have a lot of closings, but I'm thinking July, August, September, October. I'm looking forward. I'm not looking in the immediate. Guess what I'm going to do? I have my contact sheets upstairs and I've started doing some more of them just because I don't want to get complacent as to where I'm at. Just because I'm having a great June, there's still 6 months left of the year. You know, I've got to keep going. Right. And so, with all that being said, I will open it up for questions. I think Jeff said we want 10, 15 minutes for questions. So we're right at that 15 minute mark. So you guys can ask me anything you guys want to ask me. You know, I'll be happy to share. There are no secrets. Just, you know, a rising tide floats all ships strong, Maxwell says, right? So, you know, the better we do, more we help each other, the better everybody does. So what kind of
questions, comments, thoughts? I know this. I mean, one of the things that I made note of here, like when you were on number 2, I mean, just it's so easy to be busy in this business, but really not accomplish the things we need to accomplish. You know, one of the things I've had to learn in 21 years of doing this is like some of that busy work that it's, you know, whatever, I try and move that outside of like, you know, like the prime hours, you know, the prime hours when I can be talking to people, you know, so like in the mornings, I mean, I do the same kind of thing. I get up in the morning, I read every day, you know, do all my morning routine, all that kind of stuff. 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm ready to go, you know, but, you know, I might take a little bit at lunchtime, but then usually like later in the day, like 5:36, if I got stuff to do on my website, if I got stuff to do on just, you know, that kind of stuff, I tend to try and do it outside of the time when I can be talking to people. Because this really is one of those things. The more people you talk to, the more business you're going to have.
That's correct. Yeah.
It's a numbers game that, you know, if I talk to people, they might not be looking to buy or sell, but they know people who are.
That's right.
You know, and in that conversation, I can pick up some referrals. That reminder will come up that I'm in real estate, and it gets them thinking. All of a sudden, next thing you know, they call me the next day. Hey, you know, it was great seeing you yesterday. Exactly. It reminded me, I've got a friend. I gave him your number. Is it, you know, hope that's cool. Whatever. Like, you know, it's just that kind of stuff. The more people we talk to, the more money you'll make. So anyway, that was one thought that I had there. But trying to keep the money making activities, do those during prime time. All that other stuff that we can just be so busy doing, move that outside of those prime hours, you know?
Do the money making stuff also when you have the energy too. Another good time is to like, okay, if you're not sure when to call people, I find this isn't for me. I do better with calling between like 6 and 8 at night as opposed to in the morning. I don't know why. That's just if I'm gonna purposely sit down for an hour and make phone calls, I do much better during that time. Yeah, for me, that's just for me. Or, you know, so do find what works for you. The other thing, something simple you can do is this. Order a name tag.
Yeah.
And wear it. I was meeting someone at Starbucks this morning for maybe 10, 15 minutes. First of all, I'm at Starbucks. And even though I was doing something for my car this morning, I was just meeting them for a few minutes, very quick 15-minute meeting before I did something with my car. which really I just needed a t-shirt on. It's 80 degrees out. I really don't want to be wearing a jacket. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to Starbucks. I'm going to put a jacket on. I'm going to put my name tag on. No, I'm not going to lie. Nobody came up and talked to me this morning, but I showed up. Was it hot out? Yeah. Did I really want to wear a jacket? Not really, because it's warm outside. I don't really need to wear a jacket when it's that hot out. But I knew I was just going to go from my car to inside the Starbucks, right? I think I can deal with that for a minute. And I have my name tag on, or you can't see it right now, but on the back of my laptop, I have a big EXP sticker. So if I'm going to, one of those.
With stickers.
So when I'm going to, when I go to Panera, so sometimes if I know I'm doing a lot of computer work, like if you could do a lot of database work or website work, or even if you're making phone calls, you can use your, I've got my earpods right here. You can use your earpods and be at Panera and make phone calls. But then you have your laptop that says EXP Realty on it. People do come up and talk to you at Panera.
Very true.
They will come up and talk to you, so that's just and my favorite story with the name tag, I was in line at Target. I was in the express checkout line at Target because my daughter dragged me there for something. The guy in front of me turns around, says, "You're a real estate agent?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, I'm looking to buy a house." I said, "Well, can I get your number?" I said, "Sure." The guy's name is Kyle. So I ended up selling him a house, new construction. And then when he had a breakup, I ended up selling that new construction. So that was $700,000 in production from wearing my name tag to Target over the course of 2 years.
So one thing that jumps out, one thing that I was thinking going through that social media stuff, Jamie, is one of our agents, Fonda, she did a training a while back here for the Freedom Team, but for every transaction she's doing, she has 5 posts. So she does it when she's showing a house. She does, when she goes under contract, when she does an inspection, when she's closing, and then a post-close post, right? So she does 5, just in one transaction, she has 5 different posts. So she looks like she's out there, crushing it. Well, she is. She's an icon agent too. But to the point about all the social media, really at the end of the day, perception is reality for people. So when you're posting, if we're not, those are several things you can do. If you're out there doing production, you have multiple posts per transaction that you can post.
Absolutely. And one of the things, it's not expensive. And I don't use it probably like to its fully capabilities. I think it's only $45 a month. That's just called Rate My Agent. Look at my Instagram page. Let me see if I can get it where you guys can. Sorry, let me see if I can get it where you guys can see it. They automatically post all of that. So every time I get a new listing.
Oh, nice. What's it called?
Rate My Agent. They were at Shareholders.
Okay.
It's $45 a month. And they also help you get reviews. Like get your client, you can send out client reviews and a post to realtor.com and Google and stuff like that. But not that
Did
expensive.
you just start them when they were at Shareholders?
No, I've had it.
You already had it?
I've had it for a while. Again,
post just to Instagram or Facebook?
I think they post to the Facebook business page. I don't really pay much attention to my Facebook business page because you get a lot more traction on your personal page than you do on your business page as far as people looking at you.
Yeah.
But let me see. And then the other thing, if you're doing something good, like I was on HGTV House Hunters like last month. So I did tons of posts about being on House Hunters and pictures like that. So I did like a little thing where we could actually see where I was. There's the episode, there's the promo picture that HGTV did, there's me on HGTV. You can they'll do stuff like here's something that they did. They posted that.
How did you get on there? How do agents get on there if that's something they want to do?
What if you want to get on HGTV? If you want to be on House Hunters, just have them reach out to me. I'll get them with particular. But basically, you me see what I'm about to tell you. But basically, you know, we can get you, I can get you in touch with the right person. You do need to have a buyer. You get interviewed for, they will do a screen casting, make sure that you're have the look, or I don't know, whatever, that you can talk, that you're not going to
They're
stutter.
hot like Jamie. you
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, please. Okay.
Do me a favor, Jamie, stop sharing your screen so we can all see each other just a little bit
Okay,
better,
yeah,
if that's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
There we
Cool.
go. So yeah, so I mean, if that's something, I can tell you this: you do not get paid as an agent.
Yeah,
Just so you know,
it's all about the publicity though.
yes,
I
it's
mean, I
about
think that
publicity.
adds
You do not
credibility.
get paid though, just so you know.
Yeah.
So the pay is the being seen by
Yeah.
millions of people on an episode. That there's your pay. Your buyer does get paid though. They do get paid something. I'm not going to say it's a lot, but they do get paid something.
Jamie, I looked into something like this a while back, and there's quite a schedule that you have to keep with them as well, right? You've got to be able to commit at a lot of time, maybe 2 weeks, I think. Is
No,
something.
it's not. It's not. So filming is for the agent, it's 3 days. So 3 full days, 8 to 6.
Okay.
You have 3 full days, but your buyer has to commit to 5 days.
Okay, gotcha.
So again, it's going to take that special person. Not every buyer can commit 5 full work days to doing filming, right? They have to have a job where they, if they're a school teacher, and unless it's during the summer, that's not going to be your person you want to recommend for the show, because they're not going to be able to get 5 days of school off.
Jamie, Suzanne, I think she had to leave, but she had a question in case she watches the recording here. Her question was, is it okay to call people on Sundays? What are your thoughts on that? Do you not? I personally don't, but
Sometimes
if they call me, I'll call them back or something, but I don't sit down to make calls on Sundays. What about you?
I try not to. I'm not gonna say I don't, but for example, if someone registers on my website on a Sunday, I probably will call, because obviously they're looking at houses on a Sunday. Have I gotten that call at Sunday? I don't do business calls on Sunday. Yeah, absolutely. So I do try to, but Sundays are, it can be open house days. They could be showing buyers days. So do I say I don't ever work on Sunday? I do work, but if I have my preference, I try not to do the phone call part. I try to hold off on that till, if possible, till Monday. But
Sure.
Sometimes I will.
One quick comment too on what Kathy was saying with, Fonda, like again, posting on social media, all the stuff, especially like when a house, you list a house, or you have a house coming on the market. Now it's listed, it's under contract, here's the process, the inspection process, whatever. Now you're clear to close, you go to close, whatever here, to do that with video. We've talked about that before on here. If you've been following us, here on these Tuesday classes and stuff, trainings, but to post video, to stand out in front of the house and to tell the story, or to have your buyers there and just to tell the story. And it might be just a minute long. It doesn't have to be a big production, but it does, just do it with your phone. You don't need a green screen. You don't need flashy intro music and all kinds of stuff. Just a quick, and go live if you can, and just tell the story of what happened. Hey, I've been working with these buyers, we looked at, what are 12 houses, we landed on this one and we wrote the offer, and 2 other offers competing, but we got the offer. And you tell the story of how you worked for your clients, and do that on video. And if you have your clients there, have them tell some of the story, whatever, and you can do that along the way, but tell that process, and people will connect with you on video, because everybody's posting under contract and there's a picture of the house.
Yeah.
Just sold, just listed, there's the house, and it's fine, post that. But do a video as well. Video is so king right now.
Yeah.
And you could do that on your YouTube channel and share the YouTube thing. There's all kinds of ways you could do that. But I would tell you, the more you could use video with social media, that's just something that I think is, another great way to do it. But you can get multiple posts out of that one buyer or that one seller, to
And
promote
do
your business.
that on your open houses too, video.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Facebook
do
Live on your
open
open houses, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Facebook Live on that kind of stuff.
Does anybody
For
have,
sure.
we only got 4 or 5 minutes here. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask Jamie? Thanks for sharing today, Jamie.
No problem.
Anybody? Anything? some good stuff. If you go back and watch, through all these different recordings, which they're all on the, freedomteamsupport.com. You can also go, if you're outside of EXP, if you go to the workplace group, Freedom Team, you'll find all the recordings in there as well. This will be in there as well, probably within the next couple hours. It always takes a little bit to download it and get it uploaded and all that kind of stuff to YouTube is where we put it on the Freedom Team YouTube channel. And then we share that over to the workplace group. So that will be up here soon. Kathy, do you want to say anything about tomorrow, the Wednesday? We have part 2 of the Estates and Wills class while we're on here.
Yeah, tomorrow at 10 o'clock Central Time, Mark Bell, he did part 1 last week. It's on estates and wills. And tomorrow he's going to specifically be talking to as a realtor, how you talk to your clients about that, why it's important, all of those things. It's one of those topics that I feel like a lot of us, we don't want to deal with our own selves, let alone talk about with our clients, but it's so important. And so tomorrow he's going to be, like I said, talking about how we talk to clients and just making sure they're, we're helping them with their largest asset in most cases, that we got, they want to make sure it's protected. Heaven forbid if something happened to them, that the people that they want to have their house, end up with their house. One of the things he said last week was, if you don't have a plan in place, an estate, and he's more about estates versus wills, and you can go back and listen to last week's, but if you don't have a plan in place, you have a plan in place. It's just dictated by your state. And so, not doing it, you're just leaving everything up to your state that you live in to decide what happens to all your stuff. So he's, like I said, going to be talking about this with real estate for us as realtors tomorrow. So 10 o'clock, tune in, same link.
Yeah, guys, definitely make sure you do that. I can just say from personal experience, my dad, when he passed of COVID, the house was not recorded as joint with the right of survivorship. So he died in October of 20. We were not able to sell my mom's house till December of this past year. And she had to spend $3,500 for a probate attorney. Everything else was taken care of properly, but for whatever reason, when they bought the house, it wasn't recorded properly. So that would be a thing you could do. This would be great. What a great email. What a great email. Hey, just tell them the story. Hey, I had a friend of mine that found out that they had a family member that died and that the deed of the house wasn't recorded properly, joint with the right of survivorship. You may want to go check with the courthouse to see how your deeds here's a quick what do they call it on YouTube? Life hack. There we go. Here's a quick life hack. Call the courthouse. If you're in wherever you're at locality, give them the phone numbers. Give them the phone numbers, the website to go check on that stuff. Make sure that your house says joint with the right of survivorship. So I can definitely say, and I've definitely got my stuff together.
Yeah. Well, I think good for all of us to know and to learn how this all works so that you can be, again, the expert for your clients, or at least guide them in the direction to get the advice and direction that they need. But we need to understand ourselves for our own properties, our own, stuff, whatever, but also to be able to guide other people along with that to help them go the direction they need to. I think how important that is, because, man, that stuff can be tied up for years, whatever, if it's not handled correctly. And it's not that hard to do. I know we're getting involved in one where it's like $45 a year and we can update it every year, with stuff like different things. And so it's just, I don't know, simple ways to get it done. But yeah, that'll be tomorrow, same time, same Zoom link, everything. So, Jamie, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. I know you're busy. Yeah. Got a lot going on. Congratulations on all your success and everything you're doing. So, any help that we could ever provide for you, don't hesitate to reach out as well. So, anyway, guys, thank you. Kathy, anything else before we go?
Nope. I think we're good.
Cool. All right, guys. So watch for the
everybody.
recording. Check out all the other recordings. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see some of you back here tomorrow. Take care. Thanks, everybody.
God bless y'all.
Thanks, Jamie.